Joining me now in the studio are Shao Jiang, who was a protester in Tiananmen Square 25 years ago, and a Chinese dissident, Ti-Anna Wang, who was named after Tiananmen Square and is the daughter of Chinese political prisoner Wang Bingjiang. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, both of you. Shao Jiang, if I can come to you first. I mean, is this an emotional day for you, those memories of what happened in Tiananmen Square? What are your memories of that time?
So I memory student, also some workers on the street try to practice their freedom of expression. They organize their own independent student organization and trade union, and they try to change China, because during that time the corruption is very popular. It's a lot of they try to push the government official disclose their personal properties, and also the government, the Chinese Communist Party government ruling China for 40 years. During that time, the Chinese Communist Party contributed these millions of people died.
Sure, and this was what the students were protesting about.
Protests
all of
about
that.
They want to change the political system. They want to promote the human rights issue in China.
But what was your own personal experience of that time in Tiananmen Square? What happened to you when you were arrested?
On 3rd June in the evening, the military get order from the top leader. So they use a tank, and they send the 200,000 soldiers in Beijing. But a million of people went to street just to stand up to block the tank and army vehicle. And during that time, the soldier began shoot people, but the other people very brave and try to move the wounded people and other people to the hospital, and also the soldier and kill the people, even they just shot.
We don't even now know how many students were killed, and of course we have that very famous image that was taken of Tank Man, that unknown student who stood up to the tanks as they came into Tiananmen Square. Ti-Anna, if I can just come to you, because you were born in 1989, you were named after the massacre by your parents. You weren't actually born in China, but so many of your peers in China don't really know the full story, do they? To what extent has there been a whitewash of the events that Shao Jiang's just described?
I think China has been really successful in silencing what happened in 1989. I think this is why the memory of it is still painful, because there's never been an opportunity to really, for this original, students to really grieve, to come to terms with it, when there's just a complete denial that it ever happened.
What happened with your parents? Why did they have to leave China? Your father, indeed, a political prisoner now.
Yeah, well, my parents left, my father left China in the late 70s as an exchange student first. He was sent abroad to get a Western education, and there he defected and decided to, instead of going back to China, he decided to devote his life to pro-democracy activism, and that's the cause that he dedicated his life to worked towards for 20 years. And then in 2002, he was kidnapped from Vietnam, brought into China, where he was subsequently arrested and sentenced to life in prison. And and he's continuing to serve that sentence. It's been 12. He's serving his 12th year now.
Right, so
yeah.
25 years on, this still goes on. You're, of course, campaigning for his release. One of the things that I wonder, Shao Jiang, from that time, some of the leaders of the student movement have since gone on to lead very sort of successful lives in the West and haven't really continued their campaigning against what's happening in China. How do you feel about that?
It's very important if you in Excel, you can organize and tell what happened in China and help grow up civil society in China, and help the human rights defender build up the capability. And it's very important. Even the government, you can look at before the 25th anniversary, the government just try to silence all the Tiananmen massacre and protests. It's still the people can stand up. Now is a lot of the citizens have the citizens awareness. So they not only student, now it's a different social group, including worker, farmers, migrant, and the women, the minority nationality, they fight their rights. So
Sure.
this gives us hope. Yeah.
It continues. How do you think China may have been a different place to live had Tiananmen not happened? If I can come to you for a young person's perspective, Ti-Anna.
It'd be very hard because Tiananmen really, well, for the people who know about it, Tiananmen has inspired, like a lot of activists who are active now have been inspired by Tiananmen, so it'd be very difficult to imagine what it would be like without their efforts, to push for, more respect for rights. So I think it would be very unfortunate if it never happened, because even though, for the majority of the population, it doesn't exist in their memory, but for the select few, it's very powerful and it's a source of inspiration.
So despite all those deaths, you think it was a good thing for the country to have had it happen?
I think, I can't say it was a good thing, but that memory of it is a huge motivational factor to keep going.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Thank you both very much indeed for joining
Thank
us
you.
and for giving us your memories of that day.